The last few problems on tonight's homework ask us to solve some problems involving probability. And what we have to remember about probability is that we have a range of values. The measure of probability is in between 0 and 1. 0 is impossible, 1 is certain. We're going to use that concept, and we're going to have some sort of fraction we're given, and we're going to end up having to find what the probability of the other event is. Whether it's something, the probability of, let's say, it raining tomorrow, and then the probability of it not raining tomorrow. So let's take a look at our first problem here. It talks about a spinner has 16 sections labeled 1 through 16. The probability of spinning a number that is less than or equal to 10 is 5/8. So they give us that probability. Last set of problems, we ended up having to determine whether it was likely or not. Here, they're giving us this 5/8, and they're asking us, what is the probability of spinning a number that is not less than or equal to 10? Well, less than or 5/8 is the probability of it actually being 10 or less. And so what we want to do is find out the probability of it not being that. Well, let's just draw a little number line here. And we have 0, just like I have up here. We have 1 here, and we're dividing it into eighths. And so we've got 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and this is 8/8. So this right here was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5/8. This is where it is. Now, when it's not equal to that, we're looking for the remaining portion. And so if we have 5/8 and we want to find the amount that it's not, we just count over to 1. And so basically all we're doing is we're subtracting 1 or 5/8 from 1. And so we're counting the spaces up to 1. Or we're think of it this way. You're thinking of 5/8 plus what would equal 1, because 1 would be a certain event. 0 is the number that would be impossible, and so we want the number that it makes that value. And so all we're going to end up doing is just counting the spaces. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. So the answer will be 3/8. But here's the way I would do it. I would set up a fraction and think of this as 1 being the certain event minus 5/8. This will give us the remaining amount. So again, when you're trying to find events that are not less than, you're just doing the whatever probability they give you, and you're taking that away from 1. Well, here I need to write this as having a common denominator, so I'm multiplying it by 8/8. So I have 8/8 minus 5/8, and then when I subtract, 8 minus 5 makes 3/8, and so that's how I'm getting that answer. So you can either do this using this number line, or you can use this concept. And using the concept will end up making the problem go a little bit faster once you kind of get the idea. And so let's take a look at this next one here. Probability of randomly picking a striped marble from a bag of red, blue, and striped marbles is 5/12. So there's 5 out of 12 striped marbles. What is the probability of not picking a striped marble? So that's picking a red or a blue marble. And so if there are 5 striped marbles, and there are a total of 12, that means that the red and the blue are the remaining total. And so what we can do is, again, you could treat it as a number line, having 0 here. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this would be 1 here. This would be 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5/12. They're asking for the remaining amount to 1. So you can count them and figure it out. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces. So I know it's going to end up being 7/12. But if you think about it, 1 is the certain event. We're taking away 5/12 from that. Well, if you think of 1 as 12/12, taking away the 5/12, see there are 5 striped marbles out of 12 total. The number of red and blue marbles would be the remaining amount. 7 red and blue marbles. Don't know how many red or how many are blue, but we know they're together they make 7. So 7/12, same answer we got here. Well, when Sam studies for a 1 hour or more, he almost always gets at least a B on his math test. Sam studies from 8:45 to 10. So from 10 o'clock to 8:45, the remaining amount of time, or the time in between, would be an hour and 15 minutes. So we'll just say 1 hour and then 15 minutes is the amount of time he ends up spending studying. And so he spends more than this 1 hour, so he'd be in this range here of earning at least a B on this test. So estimate the probability that Sam will get a B on his next quiz. Well, I would say it's a likely event. I'm not going to say it's certain, but it's definitely likely because he studied for more than 1 hour. See, if it was less than 1 hour, then I would say no, he probably won't. If it was exactly 1 hour, I would say yes. I'd say it's still likely because the information that they give us says if he studies for 1 hour or more. So 1 hour is fine. He's probably still going to get a B. Or more, yeah, I'd still think he's going to get a B or better. But less than that, I would say no, because it says that the likeliness of him doing that would not be in that case. Now, the last problem here talks about a bag of contains 12 black cards, 11 red cards. Julia randomly draws 2 black cards and does not replace them. Okay, so they've got these 23 cards. So there's 23 cards all together. And she draws 2 cards, so we're going to take away 2 cards. And not only are they just cards, they're black cards. So let's see how many cards are left. Well, we have got 21 cards left, but how many of each type? Well, we know that since she took 2 away from this 12, now there's only 10 cards that are black. 11 cards are still red. And so now they said, will Julia be more likely to draw a black card than a red card? Well, she's only got 10 blacks and 11 reds. There's more reds than there are blacks. So I would say no. No, the reason why is that there are 11 reds and 10 black. So she is more likely to select a red card. So now she's more likely to select a red card over a black because there are more reds than blacks. So those are the types of problems you'll be dealing with. So again, remembering that rule of if they ask you whether a probability is not less than a certain thing, when you see that word not, you're just taking away the probability that they give you from 1. And so basically, think about whatever the denominator is, subtract that from the numerator, and you'll get the numerator's answer. So those are the types of problems you'll see on tonight's homework. Good luck.